From betrayals to stunning and sometimes heartbreaking moments, name it. The baby swaps, the hit and runs, transgender characters, people with HIV, people falling out from helicopters into the Persian Gulf, and all the scandals you would want to see in a movie. Just take your coffee cup and relax, because these are the most scandalous moments from the bold and the beautiful. And the first is quite hilarious. Can you imagine Brooke sleeping with Deacon? Damn! First, picture this. Brooke just went through a tough time. Her marriage to Thorne has fallen apart, and she's feeling depressed, alone, and maybe even a little drunk. And who pops over for a visit? None other than Bridget's husband, Deacon. And guess what? Things escalated pretty quickly. Before we knew it, Brooke and Deacon were drinking together and then sleeping together. Betraying her own daughter like that? What was she thinking? But wait, there's more to the story. Shortly after, Brooke found out she was expecting. Yep, you heard it right, folks. The union produced their daughter, Hope.
I gotta just turn my back on our baby.
You're giving him a blessing. A life without shame.
Now, I know what you're thinking. That's one heck of a contentious moment. But hey, maybe Brooke had a momentary lapse of judgment? Who knows, right? And when you think that's all, you would be surprised at how many people sleep in this show. Because this next scandal, I will tell you, Steffi slept with Bill. That's right, folks. We're talking about Steffi, Bill, and Liam's love triangle.
You slept with my father?
It's our baby, that's all that matters.
As you might be aware, in one of the most controversial scenes, the writers had Steffi hook up with her father-in-law, Bill. And oh my, the fans were outraged. What were they thinking? Was it even legal? So let me break it down for you. Steffi had a fight with her husband, Liam, after he confessed to kissing Sally. And guess what? Steffi fled the Cliff House and bumped into Bill. She poured her heart out to him, and before you know it, they had a steamy night of passion. Whoa, things got heated quickly, huh? To make matters worse, Steffi found out that she was expecting. But who's the father? Well, she had to do a paternity test, and Liam found out about it. And then, drumroll please, Steffi had to confess to Liam that she slept with his father. Poor Liam was heartbroken and moved into a hotel. Now, let me ask you guys, what would you do in Liam's shoes? Would you forgive Steffi and move on? Or would you leave her and never look back?
Oh, you're just walking around wondering if the baby you're carrying is his, and not a word to me. Steffi, I can forgive a lot. I can forgive so much.
And if you think the love scandals are all that define the show, then I bet you've not heard about the hit and runs here. I mean, take a pause and look at Taylor's drunken hit and run. Yep, we're talking about the incident that shook us all. The one where a drunk Taylor hit Darla with her car and ended her life. And get this, people, it all happened when Darla was being a good Samaritan and helping Taylor's daughter, Phoebe, change a flat tire. Talk about being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, let's get real for a second. We all like to let loose and have a few drinks once in a while. But come on, Taylor. Drinking and driving? Not cool, girl. Sure, Taylor eventually confessed to what she had done, but her actions had consequences. Darla's passing took a toll on Thorne and Darla's child, Allie, who didn't forgive Taylor for years. Can you blame her?
What do you want to know?
Nothing. But I guess the question would be, what do you want to know?
But let's not forget, people, this is a soap opera we're talking about. Drama and tension are part and parcel of the game. And boy, oh boy, did this moment bring it. And as if that was not all, then this next scandal could be the mother of all scandals. Imagine giving birth and the baby gets swapped with a stillbirth. Yes, stillbirth. And imagine this was the case of Amber's baby swap. I mean, have you ever found yourself in a confusing situation that you didn't know how to get out of? Well, that's exactly what happened to Amber in this story. Amber was a woman who had a bit of a wild side. She had slept with both Rick and her former boyfriend Ray, and as fate would have it, she ended up expecting a child. The only problem was that she wasn't sure who the father was. Talk about a sticky situation. Despite the confusion, Amber decided to marry Rick. Things seemed to be going well until tragedy struck. When Amber was out of town visiting her mother, she gave birth to a stillborn child. This was a heart-wrenching moment for her and Rick, and it tested their relationship to the max. But things were about to get even more complicated. In a desperate attempt to hold on to her marriage to Rick, Amber did something that was unforgettable. She took her cousin Becky's child and passed him off as her own. I know, it sounds crazy, right? Well, little Eric, as he was called then, was brought up by Rick and Amber for months until Becky discovered the truth and claimed the child as her own. This was a real roller coaster ride, folks. But sadly, the story doesn't end there. Becky passed away from cancer shortly after claiming little Eric. And here comes the plot twist. Amber ended up raising the child, who had been renamed Little D after his father Deacon. This is one wild story that will leave you with your mouth open.
It's not my baby. It's not my baby.
Liam. It is not your baby.
I know it's not my
Liam. It is not your baby.
And now, this last one, from the love and marriage stories to the shocking falling of Ridge into the Persian Gulf. Imagine having a grand wedding, and then events turn out unexpectedly. Okay, picture this. Bill and Brooke are about to say their I-dos on a beautiful beach in Dubai. The sun is shining, the waves are crashing, and everything seems perfect until Ridge decides to make a dramatic entrance. He comes running towards them like a bat out of hell and grabs Brooke by the arm. I mean, talk about crashing a wedding. But wait, it gets even crazier. Ridge drags Brooke to a waiting helicopter, not knowing that the pilot is none other than Bill's right-hand man, Justin. What are the odds, right? I can only imagine the awkward tension in that chopper. Hi Ridge, fancy meeting you here. I mean, come on, it's like something out of a soap opera. Now here's where things take a dark turn. On orders from the big boss, Justin banks the helicopter to the right and Ridge falls out, plummeting into the Persian Gulf. Yeah, you heard that right. Ridge fell out of a helicopter. I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like. Talk about a bad day at work. But don't worry, folks. Ridge survived the fall and was found a few days later wandering around on a beach. I mean, can you imagine being stranded on a beach after a helicopter crash? It's like something out of a survival movie. All in all, this story is one for the books. From weddings to helicopters to falling out of said helicopters, it's got everything you could possibly want. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay jazzy, stay sassy, and stay awesome. Until next time.